A Magi spend most of their time traveling the world learning whatever martial and arcane secrets they can find. In this video, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about the Magus class and how to use the Sword Saint archetype, which is the build that we're going to go through. Let's go. Hey there, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments below what other classes you would like me to do. There are tons of classes in this game. I'm not going to do all 25, but I'll do the ones that you guys want me to do the most. Now let's go. The main benefits of the Magus class is the spell combat, which allows you to cast a spell within the same round as using a weapon attack. So you could use a touch spell like Burning Hands, as well as also attacking in that same turn. You also get Spell Strike, which allows you to charge your weapon with that touch attack. So the attack itself will incorporate the effects of the spell. And an Arcane Pool, which is your collection of resources. The Magus class is a hybrid that incorporates some elements of both a fighter and a wizard, allowing you to do melee or range damage with a weapon as well as casting spells. Depending on the archetype that you choose, there are also other benefits for this class, primarily focusing on enabling one element of the Magus' kit. There are 7 archetypes for the Magus, the first being the Eldritch Strike, which gives you access to the Sorceress bloodlines, and you use your charisma rather than your intelligence for spells. The limit here is that you only have a certain amount of spells that you can know, and a lower intelligence means less skill points. The Sword Saint gives you access to any type of weapon from the start, and you can apply weapon damage multipliers to your spells and the intelligence bonus for AC. A Sword Saint needs to focus on one weapon in order to use these benefits. You also get fewer spells per day, and you are unable to wear armor. This is the archetype we are going to focus on today. The Eldritch Archer gives you a ranged spell combat, which is the same as spell combat except for ranged weapons. You also get no spell strike. A Hex Crafter gives you elements of the Witch class, allowing you to cast hexes during combat to apply different effects to the enemies. The Armored Battle Mage allows you to get armor training and arcane armor to put various bonuses onto your armor, and this is more of a class that if you want to get closer to kind of like a tank, though I wouldn't recommend a tank for anything with the mages, but it's if you want to play a little bit closer. You also have no arcane weapon or spell combat. The Arcane Rider gives you access to an animal companion and arcane mount. However, the trade-off here is that you have no spell recall or arcane medium and heavy armor. The Spell Dancer allows you to use your arcane pool to enhance your movement capabilities and your dodge in combat, as well as your weapons. You do lose some of the abilities based on armor. However, this is the trade-off you take for this class. We are going to focus on the Sword Saint, which the trade-off here is that you lose armor and you do lose some of your arcane abilities, and the trade-off is that you will have an exceptional ability with one specific weapon type. For mine, I have chosen the rapier, as there is some really good rapiers. You will be able to imbue your rapier with various enhancements to increase your arcane ability, as well as do additional damage types as you level up from here. When playing as a Magus, you should focus on attacking with your rapier in pretty much every turn and as often as possible. You will have access to these touch spells, and you should use them in a lot of situations, especially against higher health and higher damage enemies, to try and focus fire them down. However, you don't have a lot of spell slots available to you, so you want to pick and choose these moments when you do choose to go on the offensive with your spell attacks. You should also be trying to avoid taking the brunt of damage from a lot of your encounters. You want to make sure you have a tank or a fighter or some other melee character that's going to take the brunt of the melee damage rather than your Magus, especially as a Sword Saint, because you will have a low health pool and you can die very rapidly, especially when you're getting hit with some of these harder damage abilities. For the Magus Sword Saint, our key attributes that we are focusing on is intelligence, as that is our spell casting modifier, so that will be applied when we are casting our spells, and dexterity. Dexterity we are using as our melee weapon modifier when we're going to be using the rapier, which is a finesse weapon, allowing us to use dexterity rather than strength as our weapon modifier, which is why we have chosen the rapier. The main reason we are going dexterity over strength, because you could possibly go strength, is because of the armor class bonuses that you do get for having a high dexterity. If we did go strength rather than dexterity, you wouldn't have these extra bonuses that you do get, and because we aren't wearing armor, having a high dexterity is important when you are fighting in combat. The third stat to focus on a little bit is constitution, if you do have the extra points so that you do have more health. The primary major skills should focus on the skills that benefit from dexterity and intelligence, those being mobility, stealth, and trickery for dexterity, and the knowledge skills, arcana and world, for intelligence. Primarily knowledge and arcana are the two you want to focus on, as you get benefits from having this as a class skill as well. Secondly, I have gone mobility, as it is important to be able to get away from moments of opportunities when you are moving in combat. And then thirdly, I have focused on trickery to be able to open traps, disarm things as you are exploring the world. The Magus Feats should focus on buffing your weapon ability as well as some minor focus into spell casting. For the feats, I have gone combat casting to enable me to cast when threatened or distracted, which will give me a 4% bonus on concentration checks when casting a spell or a spell-like ability. The key one that you need to pick up as early as possible is weapon finesse, so when wielding a light weapon like the rapier that we are, you may use your dexterity modifier instead of your strength modifier on your attack rolls. This will just give you a little bit of extra chance to hit the enemy. I've also gone fencing grace with the rapier, choosing one kind of light weapon, which we have, which is the rapier. When wielding this weapon, we can add more dexterity modifier instead of strength modifier to that weapon's damage. We have also gone weapon specialization in the rapier to give us a +2 bonus on all damage rolls when using the selected weapon. Improved critical is also something to pick up to give you an additional critical damage when you are using the rapier, because you will have a higher chance of attacking and you will have a high window of hitting a critical with a rapier. Typically it's between 18 and 20, although with various bonuses you can get this to 15 and 20, so you can be critting a very large amount of time as a Magus user. All of your spells should be focused on using melee touch attacks. Something like Burning Hands or Corrosive Touch or Shocking Grasp should be the key spells you should pick up at the very start of the game. Shield is also a valuable skill to pick up to give you a little bit of extra armor class when you are in melee range, because we aren't wearing armor in the early stages of the game. Any protection that you can give yourself against enemies is always a positive. As you continue to level up, you want to focus on things like Frigid Touch and other touch spells that you can get. There are plenty of spells to choose from, and in a lot of cases there won't be good options that will benefit the Magus, as our key focus is on using our melee weapon. You should pick up spells that focus on using the melee touch damage attacks so that you can imbue this into your weapon and then attack using that. Some final tips for this class is to have another caster cast Mage Armor on you to increase your armor class to a much higher standard so you can avoid a lot of the damage that is coming in your direction. You can also get equipment that will give you natural armor class bonuses, like the amulet that we are wearing here, which will increase your armor class even further. Once you get your arcane weapon abilities up higher, make sure you are imbuing your weapon with different damage like fire or frost or electricity, depending on the resistances of the enemy that you are fighting. There are also some really good rapiers like this Mind Piercer rapier, which is giving you additional damage if the target is affected by a mind effect. There is plenty to choose from and they all have a high amount of damage to do, and the rapier is just a ton of fun to deal, and it feels like a bit of a god when you're buffing your weapon and just charging forward and stabbing people through the heart with such a powerful weapon. And that is my Magus class overview and a little bit of a starter build to get you guys going. Let me know in the comments down below what other classes you would like me to do, and also check out my combat video which breaks down turn-based and real-time combat for you guys. Please follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and on Twitch, where I stream 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Australian night times. Hope to see you guys there in the next stream. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Norza, and I hope you have a great day.